Hello, fellas and ladies. So, genuinely, I didn't think this would be a review I'd ever get to do. If you know the channel or in the, circle of YouTube where you're clicking on a review for this movie, then you know exactly what happened. That a few years ago, Warner Brothers decided to shelve and literally disintegrate this movie for a tax write-off. The excuse being that it was unreleasable, although I find that pretty hard to believe. For one, the finished product is now critically acclaimed and very good, but also in that time they happily released Wuthering Heights, Aquaman 2, The Alto Knights, Mortal Kombat 2, Joker Funny and the Godzilla X Kong 2, The Watchers, Minecraft, that animated Lord of the Rings movie, and then they released The Flash like before they dumped it. It's like, come on, guys. It felt like this movie was a lost cause, but the people have spoken. They made sure that this movie and what happened to it wasn't forgotten, and so eventually it was picked up by none other than Catch Up Entertainment, which, hey, love you for doing this, but this is, far from too late to change that name. So, as a big Looney Tunes fan who watched the animated hybrid Looney Tunes back in action every single day when I was a kid, I'm so unbelievably happy to say, fuck David Zaslav, that Batman villain sounding prick. And today I am reviewing Coyote vs. Acme, directed by Dave Green. Coyote vs. Acme follows Wile E. Coyote after decades of failing and trying to capture the Roadrunner after Acme products explode in his face, often literally. He decides to take Acme to the court and sue them all for the faulty products with the help of a small-time injury lawyer, played by Will Forte. And they soon go up against a grand conspiracy against Acme and their shady business practice. And I fucking loved this movie. Again, I am a big old Looney Tunes fan. I like seeing a character burst through a wall and the hole in the wall is shaped like that character. That's comedy, and it's funny. Being that this is the Wile E. Coyote centric one, there's a lot of pain going into that poor coyote. And there's so many hilarious visual gags that are pure Looney Tunes. Like one with like a fly swatter, his eyeballs just going through the holes. It's good stuff. It's like the joy of watching The Naked Gun last year. The humor is so up to par with our best expectations of the franchise, or the style of humor. You can strip many of the jokes and gags from here and place it in the older ones, or vice versa, and it would never feel out of place. And yeah, I was laughing consistently. Wile E. Coyote is funny, and it's funny when he gets hurt. One scene he's in a helicopter that blows up, and then immediately after he's attaching wooden planks to springs, and that blows up as well. And that's funny, because it just is. That's the beauty of the Looney Tunes. There's no rhyme or reason behind anything. It just is. And it's universally accepted in world and also our world. And I also love how the tunes were used. I like how every movie, the character roles are very different, but the personalities are the same. That's exciting to me. And here, they make sure all of, like, the favorites are here. The way Elmer Fudd is used is amongst my favorite. There's also a Pepe Le Pew cameo that really got a big one out of my audience. And all this mayhem bleeds right into the courtroom drama of it all. And yeah, it's a fucking courtroom drama by way of Looney Tunes. It's about what you'd expect, but with an extra layer of irony that's just unavoidable. This is, at the end of the day, a movie about a big corporation not only having a disregard for the little guys, so to speak, but also viewing the Looney Tunes as disposable. Obviously, this was an accident, but given everything that's happened, it's hard not to say that there's a reality where Warner Brothers was mostly inclined to dump this movie because they heard the call coming from inside the house. I do kind of wonder if Sammy Birch, the writer of this film and also May December, had that in her head. The Looney Tunes are kind of like the Muppets. Everybody loves them, but they're obviously like super iconic and everyone recognizes them. But they often feel like corporate fodder, and then a lot of what wound up happening to this movie just kind of puts an exclamation mark next to that. Am I saying Coyote vs. Acme is a scathing indictment or a very well articulated commentary? No, I think Sammy Birch was more making an observation that she put in her silly movie that accidentally became real. But it's hard to ignore. And beyond how funny the movie is, this movie, as weird as it sounds, has a strange amount of genuine love for Wile E. Coyote. There's some major, spinning on his character who wants to murder, or dare I say, make love, to a lovable bird that ends up having a very sweet go-getter tone. A celebration of the underdog, if you will. Or under Coyote? What? As schemy as he is, and as much as it's funny watching him get hurt, the movie loves this character so much. His relationship with Will Forte's character, who is reliably hilarious, was a genuine source of heart in this film. This is not going to inspire people to rise above the system on its own, even if, granted, the context around the production kind of did, but it was sweet. There's a scene with the Roadrunner that almost made me tear up. It was a legit sweet moment that almost recontextualizes everything we've known about Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner's dynamic, but not in a way that ruins the whimsy or the anarchy. But Because, yes, this is mostly a story about corporate fraud with, you know, a big funny John Cena at the head, which, by the way, his comedic timing is perfect, as he's shown time and time again. He's genuinely talented. But not to keep harping on the film's shelving and eventual revival, but even removed from that context, it's just a genuine and pure film. This is not a long review because it's a very simple movie that had a very unsimple production life. But as silly as it sounds, this is just a nice movie about never giving up. Not exactly a mind-blowing thesis for a film, but I have no issue saying that that's the idea without feeling it was corny or unearned, because the movie has so much heart alongside the mayhem that made me laugh, that there is simply so much about this that sticks with you beyond the initial fun times. Again, I'm not saying your life is going to change after watching it. It's still a Looney Tunes movie, but it's so lovable because it's so sincere. If I have to criticize, I do think there's some lulls where I wasn't laughing as much. It doesn't have that cringy young people please laugh level of humor that Scary Movie 6 had. It wasn't cringy like that, just some bits that just didn't land for me. Also, Foghorn Leghorn looks like a Fortnite skin, and I never got used to it. Everyone else looks fine. There's, like, CGI issues here and there, but the character designs are at least good enough. Foghorn Leghorn just was the exception, and it was so distracting. But, like, that's kind of all I have to say against it. Again, nothing about this is mind-blowing, but ultimately, this is everything I want out of a Looney Tunes live-action hybrid, and more. I didn't ask for a lot, and it gave me a full-course meal. I just genuinely cannot imagine watching this movie and ever thinking it shouldn't be released or seen by anyone ever. But I'm beyond glad I can finally watch it, because I loved it. And for so many other reasons, obviously, to, you know, give a middle finger to Warner Brothers. But, like, everyone needs to see this movie. It's the best. Coyote vs. Acme is a film that really has it all. It has the classic comedy that made the Looney Tunes timeless, and it doesn't hold back on the mayhem, and it's consistently funny. But when you got an accidentally based and ironic legal drama that takes a stab at corporate greed and a shocking amount of love and heart for a character as hectic as Wile E. Coyote, there's just not much else you'd want out of a movie like this. This is a gem and a potential instant classic that I'm very happy I can finally say is coming out and have seen and loved. And I'm giving Coyote vs. Acme 9 Wile E's out of 10. Yeah, this movie rocks. Go see it. Go support it. I know people are going to be like, if it bombs, people are going to be like, I told you it shouldn't have come out. What? That mindset blows my mind, because that implies that the reason people were mad about it shelving or that they really wanted to see it. I mean, that was part of it for me at least, but like, it was also because, hey, maybe don't fucking destroy a movie people worked on. But yeah, go see it. It's the best. It's hilarious. Let's come shared. Bye bye.